we are going to go over some bow care basics today. So this is for violin, viola, and cello. Bass players, you will have a different video because your rosin is different, and I would say special. So violin, viola, cello players, this is for you. The first rule of bows, this hair looks very tempting, doesn't it? You almost want to touch it, but you can't. All right, the first rule of bows is that you do not touch the bow hair. Okay? Now, if you bump it on accident, it's no big deal. It will not self-destruct. But if you purposefully touch that bow hair time after time, you're petting it like a cat or something else, your skin oils are going to make the bow hair kind of grimy. So think about if you like touched your hair all day and it would be kind of greasy. That could happen to your bow hair too. So don't touch it. All right. Now, when your bow is sleeping in its case, you can see right now my bow hair is very floppy, right? It's touching the stick. If I had it hanging this way, you can kind of see it hanging loose. Okay, that's how your bow sleeps. It needs to sleep with a nice relaxed bow hair. But when it's time to play, you have to tighten the hair so that it makes a sound. So what you're going to do is you see this screw here at the end. You are going to turn that screw to the right. So if you're staring straight at it, turn it to the right or clockwise, if that's a word that means something to you. And you're going to, notice I'm not touching my bow hair during this. I'm going to tighten that screw. Now there's such thing as over tightening. So how much do we tighten it? Well, we still want a nice curve in our stick. You can see my bow stick curves in. But if you're looking at it, you can kind of eyeball it like about a pencil or a pen width apart in the middle there. Or you could kind of eyeball it with your pinky. Remember, you're not touching the bow hair though if you don't have a pencil handy. About a pinky width apart in the middle. And when you're playing, if you find that your bow hair kind of smashes against the stick when you're playing, well, maybe you need to tighten it a little bit more. But the thing you don't want is for the stick to be a straight line or, heaven forbid, to curve out like an arch. That would be real bad news. All right, I've seen bows break that way. So we're tightening it before we play. And then the next thing we have to do before we play is to rosin our bow. When you're first beginning, rosining your bow a couple times a week is fine. If you play a lot, if you play like an hour a day or even more than that, then you might want to do it more frequently. Some rosin comes in like a wooden block, like a rectangular block. My rosin is a circle, like a little cake like this, and you can see that I have used it a lot. There's a big groove where my bow goes. So what you're going to do is you don't have to do like a perfect bow hold or anything when you're rosining, but you do want to protect that metal part so you're not jamming that metal part up against your rosin and causing it to break. So you're going to start down here and you're going to do little strokes all the way up and down your bow. And you're going to do that several times. All right, up and down your bow. I'm going to do it 3 times with all these little strokes. All right, and what the rosin does is it sticks to the little hairs in your bow, which helps your instrument make sound. All right, and you can see on my violin right now that the strings look dusty, and that's the rosin dust from my bow. So I've played on this a lot since I've rosined. So that means, let's pretend I'm done practicing. I'm going to loosen my bow, turn my screw to the left till my hair is nice and loosey-goosey. There is such thing as loosening it too much. Just make sure you're not pulling the screw out all the way. Now, I can put my bow back in its case. Right now, I'm just hanging it on a stand. And there's one more thing with our rosin. See, I have like a hanky type cloth in my hand right now. I need to wipe this rosin dust off my instrument. It sometimes makes a really bad sound like that. But you just need to wipe that rosin dust off. You can even get the cloth in underneath here. Get some of that rosin dust off your instrument because that can get really sticky over time. And it actually, your instrument won't make as good a sound if there's like rosin gunk built up on here. And that makes your instrument sound about as gross as rosin gunk. So Just make sure that you're tightening and loosening your bow. When your bow goes to sleep in the case, make sure you're loosening your bow, and that you're rosining if you're feeling like your bow is slippy. And also, make sure that you are not touching the horsehair. Bye-bye.